Hello, hello, hello. It's Knits for Sanity and welcome to my WIP Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, which simply means grab whatever project you're currently working on, whether that be a craft, another hobby, a chore, perhaps you're taking a walk, and let me chat for a little while. Gives you someone to listen to. I tend to tell a number of stories, and so thank you very much for joining me. I am so glad that you're here, whether you are brand new or you've actually been following along since the very beginning. I am very, very happy that you have joined me today. This WIP and Chat is actually going to be a kitting up WIP and Chat. If you have been following along on my channel, you know that I ran into a problem with my most recent diamond painting from Home Craftology, where I ran out of drills, and I actually did a special episode regarding that I just put out earlier in the week, if you want to check that out. I'll give a little bit of an update on that today, but what that meant was I had to de-kit this project because I will not be returning to this certainly before the end of the year. De-kitting, if you don't know, is really kind of a pain in the butt. It takes a long time. It's kind of like, you know, it's really easy and fun and quick to make the mess, but then cleaning it up is super laborious. That's kind of what this feels like, is it's like after the party's done. Except in this case, it was especially depressing because I didn't even get to finish the painting. If you're curious for how I ended up doing that, I emptied out every single container that I had, and I was able to rip the sticker that I had for each color and attach it to a little baggie and then put all the drills into that bag. A lot of the stickers didn't come off clean, and so I had to apply a piece of tape over top of them. And then these are the last two colors where I had quite a few of them. And as you can see, like here, I put a piece of packaging tape over top of that. And then the canvas is stored in another box. Not the one it came in, because if you recall, the box it came in was quite damaged. But that's been put away. These are going to be put away now. And hopefully I will be able to finish this painting, but it's not going to happen until sometime next year now at this point. So that means we're going to turn the page, and tonight I'm going to be kitting up a new painting, which I'm really excited about. And in a way, I don't know. I'm feeling okay about this. I'm bummed that the other one has not worked out at this point, but I'm feeling okay with it. This new painting that I will be kitting up tonight, you may be getting a sneak peek right now. Depends on the order in which I'm able to upload my videos, because I did do an unboxing earlier today. I'm just not sure when I will manage to finish editing that and get that put up for you. So this is kind of going to be a sneak peek. There's just no way for me to really hide what I'm doing when I'm kitting up for this. But it is a new release from Dreamer Designs. And that's really all that I'm going to say about that. When that new video is dropped with that unboxing, I encourage you to check that out. But that is what I will be doing tonight, is kitting up for this new design from Dreamer Designs, Alvana and Cinder by Reagan Kubchak. I loved it. When it came out, I was super excited. Really wanted to get it, but did not have enough money saved up yet in order to get a diamond painting. And then last week, they came out with another design that it was a must-have painting for me. I just loved it. And because I technically would be a first-time purchaser from Dreamer Designs, because the only other kit that I've gotten from them was one of their free kits, I was able to buy one and get one 50% off, which did allow me to get both paintings. So you will have to definitely check out that unboxing. particularly because I was really interested in getting something from Dreamer Designs, because if you're not aware, they have been advertising extensively lately about their new kits and all the improvements they've made. So I do talk about that in the unboxing, but I'm just going to leave it at that because this is my WIP Chat. It's been a week, guys. Oh, it has been a week. Let me tell you. But I will back up a little bit. Last week, I did finish off parent-teacher conferences. I did manage to speak with every single teacher that my children have. So that was, I felt like I had really accomplished something when I was able to finish that all up on Thursday. Friday was again cold and rainy, and it was Shark Week for me, and it was like day 1 of 2 of really bad days, and the varsity game was not close. So I talked with Veda, number 2 in particular, and just said, honey, I don't want to go. I'm not feeling good. It is cold and rainy, and the game is a little ways away. You know, I can't do this tonight. So we did not get to go. Veda was okay with it. She too, I think she was tired. Last week just felt draining, even though she actually had less school because of parent-teacher conferences. She still seemed really tired, and so we didn't go. We agreed that we were going to try and listen to the game on the radio, Michigan Sports Radio, except then in the end we couldn't. We managed to hear about 4 minutes total game time. It was horrible. Horrible. I think it's just the connection was that bad. There was just, I don't think they could broadcast, and I don't think we could hear it. So we didn't actually get to listen to the game, which was really disappointing. It was an easy win, but it was a very significant game because last week's game meant that the team won championship, the league championship, for the first time since 2004. They also beat a record at last week's game for most points ever achieved during a football season. The previous record was also established in 2004. And just to show you by how much they smashed this record. So previously, the record was 331 points over the course of 11 games. This year, the boys had 372 points by the end of the 8th game. They demolished that record. Also exciting, and I'm kind of glad that it ended the way that it did. But daughter number 2's favorite athlete, he tied the previous school record for most touchdowns received. Most touchdowns made in high school. And so this week, the hope is that he will set a new school record and get at least one more touchdown on Friday. And then he will have set the new record for the school, which is really, really cool. And of course, daughter number 2 cannot wait to go and be there. She loves taking pictures with people and things that have significance to her. And she really loves taking pictures with her favorite athlete. And so she cannot wait for him to make this achievement and get a picture. I do need to talk to her though, because he's going to be pretty swamped by people after the game Friday, particularly if he does make the record. And if it's a good game, yeah, he's going to be really, really crowded by a lot of people. So I may need to kind of gently talk with her about that. But I have already spoken with him, and he said, no, we'll get that picture. We'll get that picture. So that's really sweet of him, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna promise her. Saturday, we went down to my parents' house. Their new house, by the way. They moved this past January out of my childhood home. And we celebrated my dad's birthday and my sister's birthday and my daughter's birthday. I talk about that in the last WIP Chat. And it was a nice afternoon. It was a little bit different because my nephews and niece weren't there. They were with their dad. So it was only my kids, which is kind of a bummer for my kids. They don't have any other cousins. It's just those 3 cousins that they have. In the end, my kids actually have a really small extended family, and I feel kind of bad for them. That's not what I had envisioned, but that's what they have. So it is what it is, you know. Sunday, we ended up celebrating my oldest's birthday, even though her birthday was technically Monday, but Monday was going to be crazy because son had, of course, dance lessons after school, so we don't get home till about 7:15. So Sunday, we did her presents, and then she wanted dad's stir fry, so my husband made like a stir fry buffet. It was delicious. He had a few different offerings of things, and it was phenomenal. It was a really good dinner. And I think she liked it. And I know Monday she had lots of people say happy birthday to her. She had a friend that had a present for her. And then Monday night we actually had her cake. So that is what we saved to do on Monday. But my first baby is 14, which is really hard to believe. I can't believe how quickly that goes. I mean, it just flies. It is absolutely crazy. Just crazy. Someday, maybe I'll talk about some of my birthing experiences. She was my most difficult, by far. Very sadly, my daughter is amazing, but the day she was born, one of the most traumatic days of my life, hands down. And I only mention it because I know that there are other women like me out there. And I want you to know that it's okay to acknowledge that and to say that, no, actually, the day my child was born was one of my worst days. And it doesn't mean that you love your kid any less. I adore my daughter. I think she is the coolest teen I know. She is so creative. She's smart. She's kind. I just think she's amazing. She's beautiful. So it has no bearing on your feelings for your child. But I think part of being able to heal is being able to acknowledge, no, that day was awful. And for me, that day was awful. It was. And it resulted in severe depression, PTSD. I mean, it was really, really bad. So if you've had that experience too, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Because that's really crappy. You know, that's never how you expect that day to go, especially with your firstborn. And I will say now, I am blessed that, you know, my daughter has ended up being amazing and wonderful, and I still have her, when a lot of people end up having a day like that, and devastatingly and sadly and atrociously, not everyone gets to bring a baby home. So I do feel very blessed that way. But that is not meant to also ignore the trauma that did happen. And again, I say that because I know there are other people like that out there, and you need to know you're not alone. You're not alone. Which, on that note, unfortunately, that kind of leads me into this week. And this week has been rough. Oh, my word. And what really amazes me is I'm not the only person that has publicly expressed how difficult this week has been. I have had a number of friends and acquaintances both reach out to me or post on social media about how difficult this week has been. You know, this week, let me tell you the minor annoyances first. And these truly are the minor annoyances this week. It's things like dealing with 4 different customer service departments and companies, including our propane company, which our propane company has been a nightmare since the moment they bought out our last propane company a number of years ago now. It has been just an absolute nightmare. And right now they have things on our account all messed up. But because everything is now automated, they're having a hard time figuring out what has happened because it's all automated. So for them to even try and look back and see for themselves, they can't get there. And it's been hours on the phone, and it's just been headache after headache. And meanwhile, we got like this huge bill that we don't actually owe, but maybe we do owe it. But if we do, we certainly don't need to have it paid off within like 3 weeks or something like that. I mean, it's a mess. It's just a mess. And like invoicing that does not show the charges against our account. They keep talking about our tank rental fee was never paid. Well, first, tank rental fees it's a standard practice. I think it is a total ripoff. It's a jip is what it is. And it's over $200 for a tank rental fee. But still, it's standard. It's a known thing. However, they never actually billed us for it. Like, I went back through, and it is not on a single invoice. Not one. But yet, we still owed that money, which, like I said, okay, that's standard practice. That's fine, but it's not on a single invoice. So then we get hit with all these late charges, but it never showed up on an invoice ever. Anyway, it's frustrating. So that's one customer service issue. 2 companies I have just never even heard from. And both are companies that I've reached out to before and have heard back once from them, and then replied and have still not heard back. The 4th company has been working with me, and that is the Home Craftology, which again, I did a video about that one. They have actually been working with me this week. So kudos to them for that. Eventually, once I figure out the final synopsis on all of that, I will give you the update, the final synopsis, the final outcome on all of that, I will give you an update about it. But right now, just know that they have indeed been working with me much better than our propane company. Of course, it also helps, although with the propane company too, we come back with facts and pictures, but still, if you see that video that I did about the drill shortage in my home craftology kit, I weighed and I measured, and then after the video I came up with percentages, and like I came back with all of this math and details that I then sent to them, really as more of a, hey, I'm kind of actually concerned about quality control issues in China for you guys. I know nothing about that, and so I don't at all take my opinion on that in any way, shape, or form as like a definitive or anything like that. But part of the reason why I wanted to get some of those numbers was just out of a genuine concern for the company kind of thing. I want to make them aware you might have a real problem here. I don't know, but this is what I have. This is what I can tell you. Take it wherever you want from there. So they've offered the best customer service this week. Well, no, I don't know. They are in stiff competition with another company. So it's 4 different companies that we are in the middle of having some struggles with. And then there is a 5th company. But get this. I got an email earlier this week, maybe yesterday, 2 days ago. And it was saying, we still haven't heard from you regarding your need for assistance, regarding an issue about connectivity. I'm like, what on earth are they talking about? So I look, and sure enough, they had sent a few messages by that point, probably 3 different messages. And this is the first one that I actually saw. So I think this was maybe the first one that was written by a real person and made it into my inbox and not into a junk folder. And it was from a gaming company for just a silly app game that I play. And I think what happened is, I never contacted them. I didn't send them anything. But I think it was an automated contact because they said that it was involving connectivity issues. And so I think what probably happened is I was playing the game, and as commonly happens because of where I live, the game probably lost connection with their servers, and then an automated message went out to this company. I think that's what happened. Well, so this company, of all of them, they're desperately trying to get a hold of me to resolve my problems when I didn't even actually have any problems. So I wrote this person back, and I'm like, gosh, I just saw your messages. Thank you very much for reaching out. I did not actually send any kind of a message about anything at all. Where I live, our internet is not very good. I frequently lose connection with servers. Your company you're fine. There's no problem from your end, and there's really no problem with you on my end at all. Nothing. So then a 5th company reaches out when they didn't have to. It's just funny. It's just the whole thing is kind of funny to me. But especially the propane company issue is just a nightmare. That is just a nightmare. And then we have more serious car issues. We're at the point where we are having to put money into only one vehicle and try and only use one car for the family right now. And that one car that we have needs repairs. It's just never, ever ending. And, you know, some of this, like, I had saved up to be able to buy this kit. And I mean, I spent weeks saving up this little bit of money, really, in order to, you know, I was saving it with the intention that eventually someone would come out with something that I would just have to get. And then Dreamer Designs was the company that did it. But if I would have known that, oh, hey, we're going to have all these other issues, I could have used this, I don't remember, $70 or something like that, maybe, toward car repairs, which the 60, 70 bucks, whatever it was, is almost going to be nothing. So we are likely going to be that family again that has a car sitting somewhere. I mean, we've had it in the past where we've had a car that had to go in for major repairs, and they had to keep our car on the lot for like 6 weeks while we paid off the repairs because they would not do a payment plan. I just hate it. I just hate it. So again, if anyone happens to have any genius ideas of employment that will work for me and my schedule with my children, who all require multiple doctor visits, and let me know. I will take suggestions, as well as, of course, considering my own, I don't want to say issues, but if you saw my last WIP Chat, you're more up on that information. I'm not going to go into it again. So those are honestly the minor issues this week, the minor things. Larger things include some major health issues inside of the family, things that I really cannot discuss, and I apologize for that. Eventually, at some point, I'll be able to perhaps get into it a little bit more, but right now I can't. But I am super stressed out, and then not to mention, we have to change our health insurance plan, and in our family, that could be absolutely catastrophic because of the fact that we have this genetic disease that runs in the family, on top of course, all these other issues and mental health issues, and just the neurodiversity in our family and everything that requires for medical treatment. But especially the rare genetic disease is a really big issue, because 4 members of the family all require very specific routine care that involves some pretty major tests. And being able to know that my family is going to get the care that they need at all times that they need it has me super stressed out. I have children that very quickly can be in a life-threatening situation. So that has me really worked up and wigged out and frustrated and terrified as a parent and as a wife, because this includes my husband. So I hate health insurance companies so much. I hate them, hate them, hate them. And then also I learned about a friend, well, a more distant friend who had passed away a little while ago now. And I feel terrible that I had no clue about it. Just really, really sad, especially when a little time has passed until you learn that it happened. Like I said, though, it was not a close friend. Just a friend and acquaintance. We were like in the same group of friends. But then from the same group, this one just kills me. This one just leaves me devastated. I learned that another friend of mine died this morning. And really, as far as I knew, she was okay. She'd become a little bit more quiet recently. You know, I wasn't hearing from her as often and stuff, but we had talked a few weeks ago because she had expressed an interest in doing something kind of special for the kids for Christmas this year, which I thought was kind of odd because normally she'll send a Christmas card and, you know, maybe like some Hawaiian candy. She lived in Hawaii. But now I can't help but see that, oh, maybe that makes sense now for why she had contacted me and asked about wanting to do something a little more special for the kids this year. It was my kids and then another mom in our group with younger children. Well, one younger child, actually, that she had wanted to do something like that for them. But it turns out she actually had cancer, and she died of cancer this morning. And I am still in absolute shock. Absolute shock. This was a woman who was a huge source of support after Sylvia, my oldest, was born. And my early parenting years, and then remained a good friend ever since. And to not even realize that she was sick, and now she's gone. So even talking about it, I'm still just in a little bit of shock. It was, talk about being blindsided, you know. In this case, it's really no different than when you learn of someone dying in a car accident, where it is very, very sudden. There's no preparation at all, nothing. Neat woman. She is going to be dearly missed by a lot of people. And I respect her choices. I have heard from another one of our mutual friends who was aware of the situation and respected this woman's requests to just keep things quiet. And I have to respect that. I can see reasons why you would want to do that, but it is really, really hard for those left behind that had no preparation for it at all, nothing. So that's just been really, that's been really just kind of making my mind go around in circles today. Anyway, so it's been a rough week. I mean, I loved celebrating my daughter's birthday. You know, anytime you can celebrate a birthday, it is a true celebration. And it really is. I mean, in my daughter's case, some people could say that it's especially true because she's already had, 2 major life-saving surgeries. And another day and age, she would be dead by now. I mean, and that's not even like a possibility. That is a definite. She would be dead by now. Fortunately, because of the time that we do live, she's not. She's healthy and thriving and doing awesome and amazing. And so celebrating any birthday is always fantastic, wonderful. But really, other than that, this week has just been pretty crappy. Very, very crappy. But like I said at the beginning, the real kicker to me is knowing that it's not just me that is having a week like that this week. It just feels like this is a prevalent problem this week. I have heard from so many people that are really, truly struggling in life right now. Oh boy. And if you are one of those people, oh my friend, I am sorry. I am sorry. I had actually posted on social media tonight, which if you are interested and you want to see like more pictures and stuff, you can always find me on Instagram. I'm Knits for Sanity on Instagram. But I had posted on social media tonight about this. But then saying too, you know, if you are struggling, lean on those around you. And if we all lean on each other, we can all support each other. You know, think about like the top of a teepee, where all of those logs are leaning in on one another. And without the support of the other logs around them, they would all collapse and fall down. And so I think it's very, very important to lean on your support networks, on those people around you. And, you know, for me, in a true 21st century fashion, that includes me just even talking about it on my WIP Chat and letting you guys know, hey, I'm in here too. You are not alone. We're going to find a way to navigate through this, because that's really our only choice, right? We just have to keep moving forward and pushing ahead. And that is what we'll do. Over the weekend, I learned some other truly tragic news regarding a good acquaintance of mine, but someone who has been very, very special to all of my girls in particular. And I need to reach out to her as well. And so talking through all this stuff reminded me of that. And I have to remind the girls too. I had told them about the situation and told them it would be nice if they could write a card or letter. So I have to remember to do that. All right. Well, now that we've talked about all the sad stuff, let's move on. I do have other things to share that are pretty good, including another Alfie story. Yes, Alfie. You know, this is why you got to get a dog. I mean, cats are awesome, and in many ways, I still definitely prefer cats, but dogs have personality. I mean, cats do too, but dogs are different, man. Or maybe it's just especially my dog. Well, so just today, I am getting some work done, and I hear Alfie, and he's in our bedroom. And I can, you can tell based on the sounds, it's like, okay, he is getting into something that he's not supposed to be getting into. What is going on? So I'm yelling at him, Alfie, what are you doing? And then I walk into our bedroom and I see that he's trying to grab a book. And this book was not like easily accessible to him. This is something that he saw a little ways out, and he would have had to have like reached over to try and probably paw it out and then pick it up in his mouth, which that's a lot of effort to go after a book especially, I mean, it doesn't smell like food. It doesn't look like a good chew toy. Not when it's actually like kind of, it was, put away. Standing up vertical. And there were other books by it, but this book specifically really is what it looked like he was going for. And when I caught him, he was trying to figure out how he could bite into and hold this book. He wasn't trying to chew it up. He was trying to figure out how he could hold it. I think, very honestly, what he was trying to do is because in the mornings, my husband will sit on the couch with our son and they will read a book together. Quite often, they will put the heated blanket over them and they'll snuggle up and they'll read this book, and Alfie joins them. I think Alfie thought that if he could figure out how to get this book and bring this book to Dad, perhaps Dad would just stop working and go and bring this book over to the couch and sit down and start reading with that nice, warm, cozy blanket that Alfie could then be next to. I really think that's what this dog was trying to do. So he did seem rather sad when I took the book away and scolded him. But I am pretty sure that is what he was aiming to do. Too bad for him. He's just going to have to wait till tomorrow morning. So good old Alfie, right? Like I said, get a dog. Get a dog. If you need to have entertainment, get a dog. Now, I say that, but also have to acknowledge that dogs are a lot of work. Oh, they are so much work. And yes, they can be very, very destructive. Oh. But they do give you humor. Oh, they do give you humor. Tomorrow, I'm hoping tomorrow will be a fun day. It's going to be a long day. Tomorrow, my daughter, my oldest, has a doctor's appointment. And this is just a basic wellness check is all that she has. But because of when this appointment is happening and some other stuff that we'd have to do tomorrow, it really made sense just to keep her out of school all day. So she is not going to school tomorrow. Instead, we are going to have a mixed day of both some fun things and then other more neutral. I mean, shouldn't be like unfun. Oh, fudge buckets. Should not be unfun things. But, I mean, doctor's visits are never fun. Especially by the time you get to be a teenage girl, they're never fun. So a mix of the fun with the neutral sliding toward maybe not fun. We're going to head out in the morning and we'll go and we'll get a donut for breakfast. And then we're going to get in a little bit of clothes shopping. She really needs some clothes, and her grandfather, who she calls Grumpy, that's my husband's dad, gave her a gift certificate so that she can get some clothes. And then later, we are actually going to be meeting him for an early lunch because he has those thermometers that he has to give us. Again, last week's WIP Chat, he has thermometers that he has to give us. So he contacted me and he's like, I have these thermometers, but I can't mail them. Is there any way that we could meet up? So I gave him today's plans and said, well, if you want to meet us for lunch, you can. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll meet you for lunch. So we're doing an early lunch. And I think we'll go to P.F. Chang's. They have a pretty affordable and tasty lunch option. And Sylvia loves P.F. Chang's. I don't remember she's only been twice, but both times she loved the lunch. So I think that's where we're going to go. Then she has her doctor's visit. And then we have another little errand that we have to do. And then we will head home where we'll probably have an early dinner. And then tomorrow night, I don't know how many of us are going to go, but it's the last JV football game. And I have not been able to make a single game this year because of Havelock's football schedule. And then last week, Thursday, it was raining and disgusting. So I said, no, that's not happening. We're not going. But I've wanted to go. I like to try and go to a couple JV games as well, because I know a number of kids on the team, and I like to support the kids and stuff. And while we're there, it is also wrestling signups, youth wrestling signups for my son. So we have to do wrestling signups. And yeah, I mean, by the time I get home from all that, 8:30 at night. So I'll be gone pretty much all day tomorrow. But like I said, I mean, there's some fun stuff in there, which it'll be nice to spend the time with my daughter. I love taking the kids out, spending time with them one-on-one. It's not something that gets to happen very often. Trying to get this last drill out. Oh, there we go, finally. So that's tomorrow's plan. Oh, that's right. Oh my God. I need to write myself a note. I cannot forget this, guys. Oh boy, oh boy. I really can't forget this. My daughter would be so disappointed. All right, so I've mentioned it before how, and you've heard it from her. She obviously, daughter number 2, loves wrestling. If you don't know this, this is your first time with me. Because otherwise you would know this. She loves wrestling. And last year for her birthday, we were supposed to go to a University of Michigan wrestling tournament with a friend of mine and her sons, as well as their cousin, who is also Veda's favorite athlete. So it was going to be the 3 teenage boys, Veda, and then my friend and I. And we were going to go to this wrestling tournament. Well, it did not happen. Long, sad story, but we were not able to go. I've talked about it previously. The promise was that then I would try and make it happen for this season. Well, tomorrow, individual tickets go on sale. So I have been in contact with everybody, and it's narrowed down to 2 different days in January that we should be able to get everyone together and go to a wrestling tournament. But I want to jump on it and get tickets because I don't want to miss the chance of getting tickets. I mean, the odds are pretty low that I would not be able to get tickets, but just in case, I can't forget. I think I'm going to shoot for the earlier of the 2 dates. It's January 15th or January 29th. And I feel like it is always storming around Veda's birthday. And Veda's birthday is January 27. So I feel like maybe if we shoot for the 15th, maybe there won't be a storm. Because we have to travel across the state in order to go to this. Maybe. The other thought that I have is, let's say that there is a storm on the 15th. Perhaps I will be able to buy tickets for the 29th tournament, as, you know, like if we can't go to the 15th, maybe I can then buy tickets and we could still go on the 29th. It's a possibility. So that is what I have to remember to do tomorrow, but tomorrow's going to be so busy. I really hope I don't forget. In case you are interested or wondering, because I know you think college sporting events, oh my gosh, they are so expensive, especially because if you know anything about like University of Michigan football. Yeah, that is an insanely expensive sporting event to go to. I'd love to take the kids to a University of Michigan football game. It's not going to be happening because I cannot believe the cost of tickets for one of these games. I mean, it is absolutely unreal to me. Wrestling, totally different story. Totally different story. Which, my daughter thinks that everyone under the sun should really know and love wrestling. But the reality is, it's kind of a class 2 sport. Even though, if Veda hears this, she's going to be having a cow. But, honey, it's true. By and large, people prefer basketball over wrestling. I know that, you don't. But just nationally speaking, basketball is like your number one sport, winter sport. So, the tickets are, in some ways, I think ridiculously affordable. I mean, they don't cost much more than like your normal high school sporting events. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's crazy to me. So I never mind buying, what is that? 6 tickets. Yeah, I don't mind buying 6 tickets to this event because it's like, it really is not much more expensive than a normal high school tournament. And it's actually much less expensive than like when we went to high school state wrestling last year. It's much less expensive than that. Now, if you want to try and go to like the Big Ten finals or definitely the NCAA finals, those tickets are very expensive. But for normal season games, totally affordable. Totally affordable. I'll spend more on gas going to and from. Honest truth. So, if you're interested in wrestling at all, definitely check out colleges in your area. Tickets are probably very affordable. There you go. So I have to remember to do that tomorrow. And then, of course, Friday is football night. It is the last regular season game. Sunday, the team will learn who they play for first in districts. And Friday's game it's not, I don't know, you want to maybe call it like a buffer game. It doesn't really count toward anything, really. Which should help. Hopefully it'll be a fun game. I don't know how the boys are going to do. I don't really know anything about the team they're playing against because it's nobody in our conference. And so I have not been following this team. It's also a change from who it was originally going to be. So, it could be a rough game. I don't know. I have no clue. But hopefully it won't be. Hopefully it will be a good time. And hopefully Veda's favorite athlete will get most touchdowns. We'll get, he just needs 1 touchdown. And then there you go. But we'll just find out then. So, well, despite the fact that I still have a lot more kidding up to do, which that's the thing. The party for diamond painting is not the kidding up either. Kidding up also takes a very long time, but I don't mind kidding up. It's, I don't mind doing that kind of more nitpicky organizational process. And in case you are not familiar, if you're new, what I do for part of my kidding up is, you saw me put all my stickers in here. This is my diamond painting notebook. This is actually what I refer to while I'm doing my painting for the symbols and colors used. And then it provides a really nice reference for, all my previous paintings too in here. So that is what I do with that. And hopefully soon I will get that unboxing video up so you can check that out too. Otherwise, as always, thank you so much for joining me. I would really appreciate it if you would consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'm just a wee little content creator who is trying to offer you decent reviews as well as some instruction regarding knitting in particular. I just put up the 4th in my series of mitered squares. There's going to be one more episode of that, and then that will finish out that series. And then I think I will be doing, out of request, a super beginners knitting series after that. But I can't do it without your support. So please like, share my channel, subscribe. You can look in my notes for all the different ways in which you can help support my channel. But most importantly, just thank you for joining me tonight for this WIP Chat and for listening to me chat for so long. And as I always say, please be kind to everyone around you. You don't know what someone is going through. And particularly right now, what I talked about for a large segment of this video, it just feels like so many people are hurting and struggling right now. And so please try and practice kindness all the time to everyone around you, even when it seems really hard, if not impossible. Please try. And I hope that you are doing well. If you are not, please reach out. Lean on the supports around you. You are worth it. You are special. I said that earlier today too, just like Mr. Rogers, but it is true. And as always, I will see you next time.